First and foremost, today's topic is actually quite interesting. I think many of us have our views about ego. So I'll just try to tell you about my experience with it, and let it be an open discussion where we can all pull in and try to understand and uh, get some insight after this podcast. So first and foremost, what is ego, right? Uh, Ego is a state where we are identified with our mind or our thoughts. Whatever thought comes into my mind, if I believe it to be true, I am totally identified with the mind. So there will be a mind-made self that is created. There is a false, illusory self which is created, which is called ego. Basically, it is the unobserved mind. जब हम mind को observe नहीं करते हैं और we let the mind run amok, then we get identified with it, then we walk around as living egos. So the question arises then, as Harun just said, what are the signs or the symptoms to realize that I am identified with my mind? Is we have to understand the mechanics of the mind, right? It is not about your mind or my mind. The human mind functions in a certain way. So the human mind always tries to live in resistance. It resists this moment. It is always trying to look for a better future. So it believes that this moment is non-existent. It behaves like this moment is not at all important. There is some future moment which is way more important and way more satisfying than this moment. So since it is always in resistance, you can observe yourself even at this moment is when you're sitting here, and if you're run by your mind, you are never at ease. There is always some sort of unease within you. You are always looking to something else. As you are listening to what is going on in this podcast, there will be thoughts flooding your mind, and you'll be thinking, am I wasting my time here? ये सब फालतू का है, ये सब बकवास बोल रहा है. Or you will be thinking, what do I do next? After I finish the podcast, what do I have for dinner? What next? So this is how the mind functions. So if we are identified with the mind, we will never be in this present moment, and there is a constant unease within ourselves.
थैंक यू अर्जुन जी। हमारे साथ इस पॉडकास्ट में कुछ साथी भी जुड़े हैं, तो अगर उनके माइंड में कोई क्वेश्चन है तो वो अपना हैंड रेज करके इस पॉडकास्ट के दौरान कभी भी अपना हैंड रेज करके अपना क्वेश्चन कर सकते हैं। मैं अब अर्जुन जी से ये जानना चाहूँगा कि हमें वो कुछ अपनी पर्सनल लाइफ के बारे में बताएं कि उनका चाइल्डहुड कैसा था, उनकी कॉलेज लाइफ कैसी थी, और उनका ये स्टैमरिंग जर्नी कैसा रहा। तो थोड़ा सा इस बारे में हमारे नाजरीन को बताइए।
Zarur. I was born in Bangalore, or I completed my schooling from Bishop Cotton Boys School, और मेरा 11th and 12th from Vijaya College in Bangalore. And I think, as is common with all of us people who stammer, हम सब लोग का जर्नी जब स्कूल में है या कॉलेज में है, there we would have all faced lot of bullying, and there would be, see, due to stammering, stammering is never the major issue. The issue is what we avoid because of stammering, and what we do, what we don't do because of stammering. So there, I mean, I would have loved to be a part of so many competitions which I would avoid, as is the case with all of us. So, and जब भी मौका मिलता था कुछ बोलने का क्लास में, my heart would start racing so much. I would try to find an excuse to not speak, और अटेंडेंस बोलने का भी बहुत मुश्किल था. तो कभी कभी प्रेजेंट नहीं आ रहा था तो यस बोल देता, कभी कभी यस नहीं आ रहा था तो मैम बोल रहा था. तो it was lived in complete sort of avoidance and substitutions, and my whole life earlier revolved around stammering. तो लेकिन उसके बाद I got into medical education. I did my MBBS from Bangalore Medical College, and then I did my post-graduation in radiology from Government Medical College in Haldwani, Uttarakhand. So, and medical field में, especially during post-graduation, हम लोग, we have to give lot of presentations, or we have to go to conferences and start and present papers. वो सब मुश्किल काम था. मतलब it was beyond my reach. So, but going through all that, what kept me going was, despite all that, I am still alive. जो भी है, मैं अभी भी जिंदा हूँ, तो वो मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट चीज था. And I also, I mean, I have a love marriage. So that also gave me some sort of hope. There is a ray of sunshine that if I could fall, I mean, if somebody could fall in love with me, then I think that something must be there beyond my speech. So it is not just the speech. So, I mean, that's how it went, and I completed my education. And I still remember, even after joining work and working as a consultant radiologist in Mumbai and Bangalore, there was always that fear. And we have to talk to patients, we have to talk to other doctors as well. So, and in medical profession, substitution will not work. अगर किसी को अपेंडिसाइटिस है, मैं उसको पैनक्रियाटाइटिस नहीं बोल सकता. अगर अपेंडिसाइटिस है, मैं वही वर्ड यूज करना ही है. तो उसमें कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं है. तो during those times it was slightly difficult, and one of the days they had asked me to present something in front of the nursing staff. So हमारा हॉस्पिटल में नर्सिंग स्टाफ भी रहता है. तो आई वाज आस्क्ड टू प्रेजेंट समथिंग, एंड उस 2 हफ्ते my mind went in such circles. I was trying to find some way to get rid of it. How do I not present? And that was when, on December 20th, 2020, I was in the salon getting my hair cut. That's when a sudden sort of realization came that enough is enough. I have to do something about my speech. And, I was living in such deep denial. I didn't discuss this with my wife, with family, not even with myself. I didn't want to bring that topic up in my mind also. That such deep denial I was in. And finally, that day, when I was 32 years, 8 months, and 5 days, that was the day when there was the thought that enough is enough. So the very next day, I was able to talk to my wife openly about my stammering. And that was one of the most relieving moments of my entire life, I would say. It was like एक बड़ा boulder सर में रखा था, मैंने रखा था और मैंने उसको निकाल दिया. So it was a huge relief talking to family. और उसके बाद I joined speech therapy for a year where I did get some benefit, no doubt about it, but the pressure was always there. अगर आप इतना practice कर रहे हो स्पीच थेरेपी लेकर, एटलीस्ट अभी आप थोड़ा फ्लुएंटली बोलना जरूरी है. लेकिन देयर वेर सिचुएशंस वेयर वर्ड्स वुड नॉट कम आउट. Again you would feel guilty despite so much of practice. Why am I not able to speak? And that's when 2021 and I came across TISA, and I followed their YouTube channel for 1 year, especially Dr. Sachin Srivastav's videos. And that's when I downloaded their material. So, I mean, it was very, very nice of TISA to make everything free. You don't need to pay for anything. All the content is free. So, downloading that book, Apna Hath Jagannath, that transformed me. Suddenly, dimag ki batti, it just got switched on. So, because that was the first time I was exposed to the concept of acceptance. I had always assumed that stammering is some problem. It is some disease which I need to cure. For the first time, I would understand that you first need to accept it. It's not something that you fight. You have to embrace it. वो आपके साथ हमेशा था, बचपन से हमेशा रहेगा. ये आपका दोस्त है, दुश्मन नहीं है. That changed my entire perspective. And my journey with TISA began since November 2022 at the national conference in Delhi. And I have been able to meet such amazing people, which is fantastic. And one of the best parts about TISA, as you can see right now with our beautiful host right here, is there are no boundaries. Isn't that so beautiful? We have got Harun, who is from a different part of the world. He's from Pakistan. But is there a boundary amongst us right now? There is no boundary. So I think that is the beauty, and that is the gift of stammering also. It is because of stammering that we are able to do all this. We realize the beauty of life. So stammering is not a curse. It is a gift in our life.
Thank you. Thank you, Arjun ji. I have one more question for you. Ego can make, yes, Srinata, you have raised your hand. Do you have any question? If you have any question, please speak up.
Yes, yes. Yeah. First of all, hi everyone. Then hi Arjun. So I know Arjun well. Yeah, even I'll be meeting him in our Sunday SJs. The question is, we know that ego is not good. Yeah, it always put us down. Yeah, some in other way. But is there any kind of an advantage from ego? It is just my thought. like is there a thing where we'll get benefit from ego? No, right?
That is a good question, Srinath. See, I mean, benefit as in, first of all, we have to realize that ego is not the truth. It is just a false mind-made self. We have created one self, one image of ourselves. So when we live our life like that with one image in our mind, we are constantly trying to protect the image. And with ego, there is always a sense of lack. You always feel that something is missing, something is missing. For example, now if we are, say, identified with our speech and stammering, okay, we will feel right now that fluency is the single most important thing in my life. All right. Let us assume that tonight you will be totally rid of stammering, you will be given fluency. Now, how long do you think you are going to be happy? Will you be happy for the rest of your life? Right? It is just for a few days, a few weeks, a few months, and then again the mind will find some other lack, something else is lacking, something else is lacking, something else is lacking. And the cycle keeps going on and on and on. So with that sense of lack, you can never be at ease. And to enjoy life, see, where is life? Life is nowhere but right now. This moment is life. Nowhere else can we find life right now. So whatever joy is there, it is all in this moment. So for us to truly experience that joy, that life, and that dimension of life, which is way beyond the mind. The mind is a very limited entity. It is very, very limited. Whatever thoughts are coming, it is all because of information that we have gathered. It may be from our past lifetimes or not, even in this lifetime, based on our upbringing, where we were brought up, our culture, our family, our surroundings, there is a certain information that has been fed into the software. So it's very limited. It's a very limited software based on where you are, how you were brought up. And if you identify with this limited software, your life will become very limited and full of lack. The moment we realize that this mind is not who I am, suddenly there is a dimension within you which is already there. See, it is like you are the sky, you are the sky, and the thoughts are like clouds. Thoughts come, the clouds come and go, but you are the infinite sky. Why do you want to limit yourself to a few clouds? Let the clouds come and go. You are way more than that. We are all way more than that. If we can slowly disidentify with the mind. Mind has its role, definitely. It has its role in this physical world, but it's not everything. It's a very limited entity. So if we can realize who we are beyond the mind, then our life will be full of joy. Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Arjun. I think it's nicely put.
Kishan.
Okay, I want to ask one thing. The ego serves important purposes and we use it sometimes correctly, and it helps us to build the confidence in ourselves. So, what do you think? Ego can be entirely eliminated?
Yeah, good. That's a good question again. And again, see, coming to this concept of self-confidence, I, from my own experience, believe it is a very overrated and overused term, confidence or self-confidence. Again, the word self is again a mind-made self. So, what we need basically is clarity. We need clarity in life. We need clarity of perception in life. And for that, we need to be absolutely present in this moment. If we can be totally aware of this moment, you will have absolute clarity in life. Confidence is used as a substitute for lack of clarity. When there is no clarity, people try to make that up by trying to be confident. But confidence pushes you deeper into ignorance. See, at this point of time, if there is something that I don't know, I can say that I don't know. It's very easy. But if I try to be confident, I feel no, I am very confident. And if I start lying to you very, very confidently, I may have successfully fooled you. But ultimately, I'm fooling myself and I'm moving away from the truth. So I believe that we just need clarity of perception. And with respect to eliminating the ego, I think the best way is to just observe it. As we start becoming more and more aware, we can start becoming aware through our senses. See, when anyone gets angry, the very famous way to get them back to themselves is they say, get back to your senses. Don't lose yourself in your mind. So if we can start getting aware of our senses, what we are seeing, what we are hearing, maybe gradually become aware of the breath, as you showed in this video of meditation, you start paying attention to your own breath. Suddenly, you are away from the mind. You cannot pay attention to your breath and be thinking at the same time. So suddenly there is a gap. You are away from the mind. That builds your awareness or presence. And as you build your presence, naturally, whatever is false, whatever is not true, it will gradually drop off. You need not fight it. You need not forcibly try to remove it. As you become more and more conscious, more and more aware, whatever is not you will naturally drop off, like how dried leaves fall off a tree. It'll all drop off automatically.
Thank you. You you explained my question very well. So I have one more question. It is found that ego help us to recognizing our strength and weakness and willingness to pursue our self improvement. So, what do you think? What is the difference between healthy ego and unhealthy ego?
See, I think to be healthy, see, basically what is health is, it is pleasantness of the body is health. Pleasantness of the mind is peace. Pleasantness of emotions is love. Pleasantness of energy is bliss. So for us to experience this pleasantness, we have to distance ourselves from the mind. There is no other way to it. Because so long as we are identified with the mind, there is always some sort of unpleasantness in ourselves. And normally, see, with respect to the body, if we remove the infectious diseases, that is one thing which is due to some external agent. But most of the other ailments like diabetes, hypertension, in a way, the way we live is that also contributes to it. The body responds to the mind, right? The body's response to a thought is called emotion. Whether you are happy or sad, you are irritable, you are frustrated, that's all a response to the thoughts going on in the mind. So long as we are identified with this, you can never be at ease because there will always be fluctuations up, down. One day there'll be nice positive thoughts, one day slightly dull negative thoughts, positive, negative. So you will be constantly at the mercy of your thoughts and the mind. So the way out of it is to distance from the mind where there is no more dependency. Your inner state of uh, happiness is no more dependent on what's going on in the mind. You are free of that. Naturally, everything else will fall into place.
Thank you for explaining this concept. We always encouraging our children and praise them for their achievement. So what do you think how we can teach our children to have a healthy ego?
I don't think we need to teach them anything, we just let them be. I think, even I have a daughter, young daughter. I think if we stop teaching them, just be with them, play with them, move around with them, dance with them, and they will learn automatically. And but one thing, as you said, Arun, is I believe that this is one thing which needs to be incorporated in the education system. Something about meditation, something about uh, spirituality. Ultimately, it's to realize who we are at our deepest core, because we are not just this form that you see, just this body or just these thoughts. We are not just this. So once we realize who we truly are, then playing this game of life becomes very easy. Everything else can be done very smoothly and very easily. So there needs to be some formal setting where children are taught from a young age. I think one good way at home that we can do is see when kids get angry, right? At that point of time, you should not interfere. Once that episode is over, once they're cooled down, then you can talk to them and ask them what were they feeling at that time. What was the feeling inside you when you were getting angry? So as you make them more aware of their own feelings, suddenly there is a dimension of awareness that starts to build slowly. It may not be instantly. The kids might still get angry for another few years. That's okay. But can they build or can they realize that there is another dimension within them, which can just observe?
Thank you. Thank you.
We are the observers. We are not just the thoughts or emotions. We are people, or we are the observing presence in our life.
थैंक यू। हम काफ़ी ड्राई टॉपिक पर बात कर रहे हैं, तो मैं समझता हूँ कुछ ज़रा डिफरेंट क्वेश्चन होना चाहिए। तो मैं आपसे पूछना चाहूँगा कि हम एक कॉरपोरेट एनवायरनमेंट में काम करते हैं, जिसमें हम मुख्तलिफ टीम्स में काम करते हैं। हम बिल्कुल भी आइसोलेट रहकर काम नहीं कर सकते। तो आप क्या समझते हैं कि हमें अपनी ज़िंदगी में सक्सेसफुल होने के लिए हमारे प्रोफेशनल एनवायरनमेंट में नेटवर्किंग की क्या इम्पोर्टेंस है?
Very good question. I think networking बहुत important चीज है. Basically, networking means we connecting with people, right? So if we can connect with people without the expectation that acha, theek hai, if I'm going to meet my client, this client should bring me some profit. Now, if we go into a meeting or if we go into a conversation with that expectation in mind, then there is never a true connection with people. So there is a difference between connection and transaction. We shouldn't transact with people. Okay, I am doing this, what will I get in return? That will become transaction and a very shallow bond that forms. If we can just connect with people, we enjoy being with people, then we can build a wonderful bond, and that's how we are going to build networking. So whether the end result happens or not, that becomes secondary. You just enjoy the process of being with people, connecting with people. I think that will be beautiful.
थैंक यू अर्जुन जी। हमारे साथ नए साथियों ने भी ज्वाइन किया है, तो मैं फिर से बता दूं, अगर किसी साथी का कोई किसी पार्टिसिपेंट का कोई क्वेश्चन है, तो वो अपना हैंड रेज करके अर्जुन जी से किसी भी टॉपिक पर वैसे कोशिश करे हुए कि वो ईगो के बारे में या फिर स्टैमरिंग के बारे में क्वेश्चन करे, तो मुझे उम्मीद है कि अर्जुन जी उस क्वेश्चन का आंसर कर देंगे। तो हम अपने नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन की जानिब बढ़ते हैं कि अर्जुन जी, आप क्या समझते हैं कि ऑफिस एनवायरनमेंट में हमें जब डिफरेंट टीम्स के साथ या अपने ही को वर्कर्स के साथ हम काम करते हैं, तो कुछ उसमें पॉलिटिक्स भी इन्वॉल्व हो जाती है, तो हमें उस पॉलिटिक्स में इन्वॉल्व होना चाहिए या नहीं? जरा इस बारे में बताइए।
Shooting questions. I've been shooting questions like completely different questions.
अगर आप आंसर नहीं करना चाहते
नहीं
तो
नहीं
नो
नहीं
इशू,
नहीं,
हम
ऐसे
चेंज कर लेंगे।
नहीं. No, I'm just trying to formulate something. नहीं, actually देखिए, सी, जब हम एक मीटिंग में जाते हैं और people are busy and they're trying to find solutions, and just they're just not there, they're entirely in their mind. तो उस समय ये, that is a fantastic opportunity for us to become more present, more aware. Suddenly, if you just see, you cannot fight ego with your ego. If you try to see, ego always tries to be right, it tries to make someone else wrong. अगर आप किसी का स्टोरी सुनेगा, whenever they complain about somebody, if you observe, always they are right and the other person is wrong. And this is how it is every single time, but they never question themselves. How is it possible that every time I am only right and somebody else only is wrong? How can it be that way? It is just because that's how the ego functions. It wants to make someone wrong. So whenever you are in a argument or there is some heated debate, that's a fantastic opportunity for us to become more present, to not get caught in the drama. If we get caught in the politics or in the drama, we get more drawn into unconsciousness and we amplify their unconscious behavior as well. So definitely we should just try to become more present. Maybe focus on your breath or just being present in that moment, totally present. And see, basically, once you are present, there is a sense of acceptance to that moment. You will not resist it. You will not wish that it was something else. Just a total surrender to what is. And once there is a total state of inner surrender and acceptance, from that state of acceptance, right action will come. So if it is possible to take action in that moment, you take action. If it is not possible to take action, you just accept it all the more. Get deeper into yourself, go deeper into being and accept it. I think we can use every sort of internal politics to become more present ourselves and to not get drawn into that politics.
थैंक यू अर्जुन जी। अब हम अपने टॉपिक की तरफ वापस आते हैं। मेरे ख्याल में सोहन बानड़ जी ने अपना हैंड रेस किया है। सोहन जी, आप अपने आप को अनम्यूट कर सकते हैं और आप अर्जुन जी से अपना क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते हैं।
It is sure. Hello everyone. Good evening.
Yes.
Hello Arjun sir. Yeah. So I'm currently outside, but I have few minutes so that I thought to join and listen to you. Yeah. Hi sir. My question is, how do I make my ego aware, and like how do I communicate with it and tell it that you are not right all the time. Yeah. Yes, sir. My question is like, how do I become more aware of my ego? Yes.
Thank you, Sohan, for that question.
Yes.
See, you can only begin now. There is no other place to begin than now. So you can
Okay.
begin by becoming aware of your surroundings. So now you are sitting in the car. So you
Yes.
just start to get aware. You just look around and try to hear whatever you are hearing. Just pay attention to the sounds, right? You are
Yes.
sitting on a seat right now. Try to feel that, you're sitting on a seat, feel seat, and,
Yes.
right? And gradually you can take your attention or awareness to the breath. Just
Okay. Yeah.
breathing in, breathing out, and you enjoy that. You You just enjoy the air flowing in and going out, and then gradually you can take your attention into the body. Say, for example, you can feel your hands. So now if you just close your eyes for a moment, right? Could you just close your eyes for a moment, Sohan? Yeah. Now, are you able to feel your hands? Is it there or not? It is there, right? That means that there is an energy field in your hands that you can feel, right? So you start paying attention to your hands. Feel the aliveness, feel the the life in your hands. Gradually, you can take your attention to your feet or any part of the body. Suddenly, when your attention is in the inner body and in your breath, your attention is away from the thoughts. There is a clear space that is forming around you, and through that space you can feel a sort of inner peace. There is a lot of peace the moment you are not thinking, the moment you are not paying attention to every thought that is in your head. You become very alive and very present. And as you become more and more present, you become more aware of your surroundings, of your senses, right? And as you keep doing this gradually, you will feel that you are less and less trapped in the mind. You are free of the mind.
Yeah. Yes,
Yes.
sir. Yeah. Got it, sir. Like, I don't have to fight with my thoughts, and I have to just focus on my surroundings. Then it will just improve on itself. Oh, oh yes, sir. Yeah.
Thank you, Mohan. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Arjun ji.
And shall we invite Amit as well, Harun? Amit has been on the show for a long time. He's not showing us his face either.
Maybe he's a shying personality.
अमित, आपका कुछ सवाल है?
Hello, sir. I am in the market. That's why, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I am silently listening you, sir. That's why.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir. Yeah, sir. Session was good, sir. Yes, sir. I am gaining from it.
Great, great. Very nice.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
अर्जुन जी, ये पॉडकास्ट करने से पहले मैंने टीसा मेंबर से आपके बारे में पूछा कि मुझे मुझे अर्जुन जी की पर्सनालिटी का कोई पॉजिटिव ट्रेट बताइए, क्योंकि मैंने उनके साथ बहुत कम वक्त गुजारा है। तो मैंने विकास रांगा जी से पूछा, मैंने राहुल सिंगेलिया जी से पूछा, मैंने मैंने विनायक शिनाय से पूछा। तो सभी का एक ही क्वेश्चन था कि अर्जुन जी हर वक्त मुस्कुराते रहते हैं और उनके फेस पर हर वक्त स्माइल रहती है। तो मैं ये सीक्रेट आपसे पूछूंगा कि इस स्माइल के पीछे क्या राज है कि आप हर वक्त मुस्कुराते रहते हैं। हत्ता कि जब मैंने पॉडकास्ट के लिए आपसे पिक्चर भी मांगी तो उस पिक्चर में भी आपकी बहुत अच्छी स्माइल थी। तो मैं पूछना चाहूँगा कि क्या इस स्माइल के पीछे सीक्रेट क्या है, या फिर हम ये समझे जो कि जगजीत सिंह ने अपनी एक बहुत प्यारी प्यारी गजल में कहने की कोशिश की है, तुम इतना जो मुस्कुरा रहे हो, क्या गम है जिसको छुपा रहे हो। तो आप हमें बताइए कि क्या कोई पॉजिटिव सीक्रेट है या कोई गम है जिसको आप छुपाते रहते हैं।
नहीं, अभी सीक्रेट सी नहीं है, तभी मैं मुस्कुरा रहा हूँ. No, I mean, See, this is a sort of reflection of the inner state. That's all, Arun, right? जो अंदर है वो आपको बाहर दिख जाएगा बस. So, and we are alive, Arun. सब secondary है, हम लोग अभी जिंदा है. What else do we need to be celebrating? This is the single most important thing right now in this moment is we are alive in this form. So this is the most precious gift and nothing else that we can be more grateful for than this moment.
थैंक यू अर्जुन जी। अब हम नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन की तरफ बढ़ते हैं, बल्कि मैं आपसे एक परमिशन लेना चाहूँगा कि हमारे लॉन्च की जो एक फॉर्मल टाइमिंग है वो 8 से 9 बजे तक की है। तो अगर आपके पास कुछ टाइम हो तो हम 10 मिनट्स ले सकते हैं। अगर आपके पास टाइम नहीं है तो फिर हम लॉन्च को यहीं पर एंड कर देंगे।
नहीं, मेरे पास वक्त है
चले, हम
सर्टन
कोशिश करेंगे कि 10 से 15 मिनट से ज़्यादा आपका टाइम ना लें, और जैसे ही आपको फील हो कि अब बस अब इससे ज़्यादा नहीं होना चाहिए तो हम इसे वहीं पे रोक देंगे। तो अब मैं नेक्स्ट चीज़ आपसे पूछना चाहूँगा कि समटाइम्स ईगो मेक्स अस टू ओवर एस्टिमेट our own abilities and worth. So some people thinks that their ego is their enemy. So what do you think people why do struggle to control their ego?
Correct. Good question again. See, I think the problem is that you cannot control the mind. It can never be controlled. It is like a monkey. It will keep jumping here and there. You cannot control the mind. You can only distance yourself from the mind. Once you just start to observe the mind, you are no longer the mind. You can just observe it. And as you just observe it naturally, with time, the thoughts gradually reduce. If I tell you now, okay, you just close your eyes, okay, say for 10 seconds, okay, Harun, you just close your eyes and I'll tell you, don't think about monkeys. What happens?
मंकी माइंड में आएंगे और ज्यादा।
Exactly. So, and the mind doesn't understand negative words like don't do this, don't. It'll only see monkeys. So if you try to forcibly control the mind, it will never work. You cannot control the mind. Mind is not meant to be controlled. It's meant to be left free. You use it when you want to use it. When you don't want to use it, you just put it down. See, for example, when you sit in meditation, right? Many people say, oh, my mind is going in circles, so many thoughts. How can I meditate? Please make my mind quiet. But at the same time, while you're meditating, your heart also is functioning, your kidney also is functioning, your liver also is functioning. So will you say that, okay, now I'm meditating, make my heart stop? No, you don't say that, right? Similarly, the mind keeps functioning. You let it function. You don't pay so much attention to your heart because you are not identified with it. You don't pay so much attention to your kidneys, which are constantly functioning because you are not identified with it. You are only identified with your mind. That is the problem. Mind is not the problem. Your identification with the mind, that is the problem. So if you can let go of that mind identification, then who or what you are will emerge naturally. Right. So again, so meditation, sadhana, whatever it is that you practice, it is a sort of an entry point into that awareness, into that dimension of just pure presence without thought. So it's not necessary that you need to sit for meditation for half an hour, 1 hour, 3 hours, 6 hours. No, even in your day-to-day activities, every activity can be a meditative process right now. Right now in this podcast, this is my meditative process where free of thought, totally present, here and now. That's all there ever is, here and now. If I can surrender to this, that's all that is ever needed.
Thank you, Arjunji. You explained the answer very well. My next question is, some people say that they are trying to let go their ego, but they said that their motivation is highly dependent on their ego. So, what do you think? Can ego be the source of motivation?
See, I ask ourselves is, why do we need motivation? I mean, as of now, if we are absolutely joyful within ourselves, if we are one blissed out, do I need motivation? Me being alive is enough for me to do whatever is needed. So I need to first work on myself. Now, once this is wonderful, I have no vested interest in the world, as in, I'm not trying to do something because I want something. I am already joyful. So I am prepared to do whatever is needed, right? See, for example, I am a radiologist now. Had I been born 50 years back, there was no CT scan, no MRI, at least in India and in eastern part of Asia. It was more of X-rays. So I wouldn't be doing CT scans and MRIs. Now, I am doing all this because I've been born in this era, right? So say that I'm in Mumbai. I'm going to learn the stock market. If I'm sent to Kerala, I will learn fishing. So what I do cannot be fixed. Whatever is needed, I'm willing to do. So you work on yourself and make yourself so willing that you have no will of your own. Whatever is needed, you are there to do. In that state, I don't think that we need motivation. Again, motivation is needed when there is a mind-made self, and then it looks for motivation. We don't need that at all.
थैंक यू। मेरा आपसे नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन होगा कि टीसा में जो न्यू PWS आ रहे हैं, आप उनको क्या सजेस्ट करेंगे कि वो किस तरह अपनी इस स्टैमरिंग से फाइट करें या किस तरह अपनी स्टैमरिंग को ओवरकम करें?
देखिए, आई थिंक few months back दिनेश भी आया था इस पॉडकास्ट में, और दिनेश जी बोला था जो 3 पिलर्स है, तो वो बोला था, एक है यू शुड नो योर सेल्फ, उसके लिए यू हैव टू गेट इनटू सम सॉर्ट ऑफ मेडिटेटिव प्रोसेस लाइक विपासना। दूसरा चीज ये बोला था, यू national conference attend करना है। और एक और चीज बोला था, सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप। ये तीनों पिलर्स है। तो even I second that whatever you said is absolutely true. And I just want to tell one thing, that don't use this platform to just become better at communication. Use this platform or use this stammering to transform yourself on the whole, because stammering has actually helped me go on this inward journey. Had it not been for stammering, my life would have been very superficial. Stammering has added depth to my life. It has made me realize the value of life, and to also realize what I am not. The thoughts that come to me are this body and all. This is not me. There is something more to me. So this has helped me go on this inward journey. I think for all of us, for the 2% of the world population who have stammering, this is our gift. This is our superpower, which helps us become more present. Just like we say, focus on breath, right? We don't focus much because it is happening so smoothly, so spontaneously. We don't focus on breath, but we don't realize that after this one exhalation, if the next inhalation doesn't take place, over, that's the end of life. That's how fragile yet beautiful it is. But we don't realize because it is so smooth. So for the 98% of the world population, just like breath, their speech also is so smooth. So they don't realize the value of words, and we keep hearing many people say, I wish I hadn't said this. I wish I had said that. Now it's because there was lack of awareness when they were saying that. But for us, the 2% of the world population, we have been given one more portal or one more entry point into becoming more and more present, which is our speech. Now, by accepting stammering, you can expand it to accepting everything in this moment. Whatever this moment has to offer, you can be in complete acceptance. And that takes you very deep. And paying attention to the body while speaking, rather than being trapped in the thoughts which are saying, avoid this word, avoid that word, avoid speaking to this person, avoid speaking in that situation, run away from here. All these thoughts, and we are trapped. So for us, during speech, it's a great practice for us to bring attention into the body. Try to feel your hands and whatever secondary behaviors like eye closing, eyebrow raising, moving your hands or stomping your feet, just pay attention. Don't try to remove them. Let it be. As you become more aware and more aware, all those will gradually dissolve, right? And even during blocks, that is one of my favorite things. When you get into a block, the amount of mental gymnastics that we immediately dive into our memory, try to find an alternative word, even if it is in Greek or Hebrew. We go find some language, get some alternative word, and get that word out. So we are so trapped in the mind. So in the moment of block as well, it's a great moment to transform ourselves, to become more present, to become meditative. Just become aware of the thoughts and aware of the articulators, the tension in the throat, in the lips, tongue, and try to get the word out easily. So stammering is a great gift for us to become more and more present. And as we get more and more present, naturally, this stammering, which is a conditioning of the mind, that will also reduce. We are moving away from the mind, moving away from the conditioning. This also will naturally dissolve gradually. So, so don't limit yourself just to speech, just to speech. Speech is a very tiny thing, but for us, it's a great gift to help us go deep into ourselves. So don't miss this opportunity in this lifetime, please.
थैंक यू अर्जुन जी। मेरा आपसे लास्ट क्वेश्चन होगा कि आने वाले वक्त में, फ्यूचर में, आपके माइंड में कोई ऐसा प्लान है कि आप जो एक PWS को जो मुश्किलात का सामना करना पड़ता है, आप किस तरह उसकी हेल्प करके उसकी ज़िंदगी को आसान बना सकते हैं?
मेरा एक्चुअली ये प्लान है टू बी मोर एक्टिव विद टीसा एंड टू बी एबल टू टेक टीसा टू डिस्टेंट प्लेसेस, क्योंकि अगर आप इंडिया में देखते हो या पाकिस्तान में देखते हो, बड़े बड़े शहर में है, देर आर centers, there are speech therapists, लेकिन there are so many smaller cities, smaller villages where they have no access at all. So we want to take TISA to every corner of India and the world. I mean, we want everyone to get the opportunity to be able to help themselves. Self-help, that's what we are all about, right? It is self-help as a group and as individuals. How can we help ourselves communicate better, and don't forget the higher or the deeper purpose as to use this to transform yourself. So the plan, the rough plan here is to reach out to more and more people and to also have regional conferences. अभी एक national conference है and many people are not able to attend, either because they don't have enough money or it's very far for them to attend. So if we can even divide India into South India, East, North, West, and Center. So each region can have one conference every year. It helps more people be a part of the conference. And also one of the plans is to have something called ISS, International Stammering Station, ISS. So where we have the entire world. So we have stammering associations in so many countries. We have British Stammering Association, American Stammering Association. There are many associations in Africa as well. So if we can all reach out and if we can all form one group where there is one standard body and there is one international conference in 1 year, and the live recording can be made available on YouTube or on any platform where anybody from any part of the world can gain access. And we make content, we make material available to anybody, absolutely free of cost or very, very minimal nominal rates. Basically, as we started out, to break all boundaries, to be one, and to use this great opportunity to, to sort of become more present, more joyful, and create a more joyful world. Because our biggest gift to the world is not in what we do or what we say. It is in how we are within ourselves. Because how you are, if you are joyful, people will always want to be with you. Because in your presence, they also feel very good. So if we can use stammering to become more and more joyful, more and more present, in turn, create a more conscious world and a more beautiful world. I think that will be our biggest gift.
थैंक यू, थैंक यू, थैंक यू वेरी मच अर्जुन जी। मैं इस पॉडकास्ट को अब ख़त्म करना चाहूँगा और मैं आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया अदा करूँगा कि आपने एक बड़े डिफ़िकल्ट कॉन्सेप्ट को, एक बड़े ड्राई टॉपिक को हमारे लिए बहुत आसान करके हमारे सामने रखा और अपना नॉलेज, अपना विजडम हमारे सामने रखा। तो मैं आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ कि आपने अपने बिजी टाइम में से हमारे साथ अपना टाइम गुजारा, हमारे लिए कुछ वक्त निकाला। तो मैं उम्मीद करता हूँ कि फिर किसी वक्त एक नए टॉपिक के साथ हम एक और पॉडकास्ट करेंगे। और हैव अ नाइस डे एंड गुड नाइट। और अगर आप इस पॉडकास्ट के बारे में कुछ कहना चाहते हैं तो आप कह सकते हैं।
Sure. First of all, I must say a big round of applause for Harun. I think he has conducted this podcast beautifully. Thank you so much for having me here, and even you are always smiling, and there is a sense of calm whenever you speak, which is very contagious. So thank you so much for that, and thank you to all the participants, Amit, Sohan, and everyone else who has left. Thank you for being a part of this. And yes, we will connect more often, and let us spread the joy. Thank you so much. Thank you.
गुड नाइट एंड हैव अ नाइस डे।
Thank you, everyone.
Good night. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.